So do you understand why we're treating him today?
Yes.
So do you want to run through what his favorites are?
Well, he loves samosas. So what we're doing is we're making some lovely samosas. We've got the filling sorted out. So we'll show you exactly how to make a samosa, how to stick it and put it together so that it doesn't open up in the oven, in the oil.
All right. So, you know, samosas are a favorite wherever you go. It's a quick and easy, delicious meal. And I think nobody can say no to a samosa. And the wonderful thing about samosas is that you could just put in whatever you want to as a filling. And the fact that it's fried in most...
Whoa, hang on. So, sorry. Whatever you want to?
Yes. So like, for example, if you have some leftover butternut or some spinach or some chicken curry, you just mash it up, add a couple of ingredients into it, dry it up, and then fill it into these beautiful pastry wraps.
Butternut.
It's actually quite a delicious, absolutely delicious samosa because it's sweet and savory and crisp.
Okay, today we're doing mince.
Today we're doing mince.
There we go.
Yes,
right.
Mince is my son's favorite. So we're going to be doing some mince samosas, and I'm going to quickly tell you what we need for our mince samosas. So of course, what I've gone and done ahead is I have browned the mince in a pan, and I've added some onion in here. So I've added some onion so that it sort of cooks together with the mince. So I'm using some lamb mince, and I've got that all browned and cooked. You don't want to use raw ingredients in your samosa because all the cooking involves is just cooking the pastry. Then we've got some samosa strips, which are ready-made strips. And
my
of course,
mum used to make them from scratch.
well, that's what you do when you have nothing else to do. You make your samosa pastry from scratch. And if you want to know how, it's very much like a roti. You would roll out the samosa pastries like a roti, but I just want to show you one of them. You've got to be highly skilled, like Kubeshan's mum, to be able to roll the rotis into this thickness. And then, of course, this would have been one entire roti. You would have cut them into strips according to the size of the samosa that you wanted to make. So there we go, very thin samosa
So this
strips.
is basically store-bought, right?
And it is store-bought. If you're a busy person,
Like
and
you.
yes, and you have lots of things to do, lots of engagements, then you're going to be buying the samosa par. But if you don't have anything to do and you want to occupy your time at home, then you roll out for many hours thin strips of samosa par.
Very good. Right. So what do we do now?
So have we settled why we
I've
bought
settled. It's over.
samosa par?
Argument's done.
Thank you. So we've got the most beautiful samosa pastries, and as you can see, I have wrapped this in a damp tea towel. Do you know why we do that?
Well, I do know that if it's not kept moist, it'll crumble and
Yes.
break.
So the pastries are so thin that if you don't keep it moist, then it is going to crumble. And when you start to fold them, they're just going to crack and break. The worst thing about a cracked samosa pastry is that all of your filling will then leak out into the oil, and then you are going to have to get fresh oil to fry them in.
Right. So we've got that. We've got the filling. These are the ingredients that are in the filling, right?
Right.
Some
So
green chilies.
So we've got chopped green and red chili. And of course, I remind you that Kubeshan's colorblind, so he thinks this is just green, but this is red and green. And if you have a little taste, you're going to be able to see
right.
what the difference
Now,
is
you
between red.
taste the red, I'll taste the green.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll taste it in the samosa filling. So I've got roughly chopped for 500 grams of lamb mince. I have chopped up 4 red and green chili. So I have 2 of each, and I'm going to drop that in there.
All
And
of it.
yes, all of it. So actually, when you look at it, it's not too much in
My mouth's
proportion to
burning
the
already, yeah.
the mince. I've added the salt into the mince already. So there we go. I'm going to
Okay.
place that right there. And then Kubeshan is, I have added the garlic already. So you're not going to add raw garlic into there.
Yes.
But what I've done is when I've sauteed the onion, I put in the mince and I put a lovely heaped teaspoon of the garlic.
You did what to the onion?
I sauteed the onion.
You mean you fried it?
I fried the onions.
there you
All right. And then we have chopped up some coriander or some dhania, nice fresh greens. Not only does it look so beautiful, but everybody loves the beautiful taste of coriander. So you're going to throw that in there.
All of it?
All of it. There we go.
Right.
Quite a lot. We've just used half a cup of flour and we've used some water to mix into a thick paste. Do you see this? Quite thick.
I remember very clearly that there were kids in school who, if they ran out of glue, would mix this to stick their worksheets in.
Which school did you go to? Where they had to use flour and water to stick worksheets?
Just once off, man.
Oh, once off. Was it you?
Because they couldn't find
Well,
glue.
Kabeshan, as you can see, is giving away quite a few secrets. After his mum used to hand make the samosa dough, I think she would bottle the rest of this flour and water
You
paste.
didn't know my mom's going to watch this program, right?
Oops.
Yeah.
Now's not a good time to tell me
Yeah.
that. All right, so here we go. We're going to peel off one of the strips. And here.
Keep it closed each time you're not using
So
it.
yes, do remember to keep closing this. And let's go. So we're going to fold. Do you want me to start
Now
the
you
first
do it.
one? All right.
Slowly, so that
Slowly.
everybody can see, right?
So here we have our samosa strip. So let's demystify this beautiful samosa. So all you're going to do is, and it's geometry. All that you're doing is making a triangle. What sort of triangle is this? Where,
90 degree.
no, it isn't. I think this is isosceles.
Oh, okay, right. whatever. Just
Isosceles
make a
triangle.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. I don't think there's any 90
That's the
degree
first,
here.
right?
So we take the first end and we turn it to meet the other end. Now it's very important that you get the geometry right, because you don't want to do this as an example, and you're not going to get a samosa. You're going to get
trying to get a good piece here.
you're going to get the kind of samosas that Kabeshan's mum is making with the handmade pastries.
Okay,
so there we
first
go.
step is
We're going to take the end,
this and
the
put
corner, and we're going to
parallel.
turn it to match the other end of it. So here we go.
Right, the first
Have we
step.
done that? You're
Yes.
very good at that.
I know.
And then you're going to then take this corner and we're going to turn it upwards again.
Huh?
Right, so here we go. We now have a little pocket. Do you see the pocket?
Sorry,
Right, so let's
my
go.
pocket's broken.
Right, so you have,
I've got
we're just
it
going to do
there.
this again. We turn it forward,
Right.
we've got a corner. We take the corner and we turn it upwards again. So we've got the second turn.
This way.
Yes, very good.
Ah, okay, then you hold
And then
it
you can hold this up. We're going to take a lovely heaped teaspoon of this with the chili, the coriander, the lamb mince. I really like, well, rather my son really likes a very filled samosa. So there we go. We've got the samosa filling in there now, looking quite
So what do you
wonderful.
do with this bit?
That's going to be turned over and over and over until we wrap it up. So you go for it.
Okay, so 2 teaspoons. And since he likes it so much, put a bit of extra chili.
There we go. And so we've got our little pocket filled. We're going to turn it forward again
Hey?
to meet the other corner. So all we're doing is we're just wrapping the triangle over and over again, but we're making pretty sure that our corners are very nice and tightly sealed.
Mine
Okay?
doesn't look like a triangle now, it looks like a...
No, that's no good. Now here is an example of a samosa that you will not do, because this filling is going to leak out into the oil. So not only are you going to ruin the one samosa, but you're also going to spoil all of the oil. So I will
my
help
word.
you with this while you get your worksheet glue and paste it with your little finger or teaspoon along the edge. So we've got quite a bit of glue that we're going to stick here.
Okay,
It's not glue actually, it's flour and water, which is going to make a lovely sticky
Right.
paste. So
I'm
go
putting
for
the
it.
paste. So
Yes.
basically, you have this there. You take your paste. You can use your finger. It's nice and sticky, and you place it. You can put as much as you want, so that it doesn't open up in the oil when it's frying. And then you turn it over, and you can stick it down.
There you go. So you will determine, if you're doing this with your family, what the skill of each person is. Like some people are very good at applying the glue and sticking this down. Some people do not get the folding and the geometry of the samosas.
Yeah, we should try
so
this
we
glue
will
on your lips.
so we will not have them do that. So here's our first samosa all
Well,
done
look
and
how
dusted.
nice my samosa turned
I think
out.
I had to do a bit of repair work on that. So,
All right, let's see how quickly we can do one now. Go.
okay. Are you having a...
No, thanks. I'm sticking to
All right,
sticking.
so here we go. You're
There we
sticking
go.
to sticking.
Yeah.
Fold into a nice little pocket. A lovely teaspoonful of our mince in here. And just tuck it in with your fingers. Fold. Fold.
Now the important thing as well is that once you've done this, you place it in the freezer.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
So what Kabeshan is telling you about is a little process called blast freezing. So,
Yes,
as
that's what I was telling you about.
blast freezing. So we would take these, we'd place them on a tray like I have here, and you would put this into the freezer for a couple of minutes. So what happens is the samosas all sort of get iced up on the outside. So when we place them one on top of the other, they are not going to stick. Because of course nobody makes fresh samosas and eats them up on the same day. Usually, this is quite a big process. You sit and you make dozens of samosas and then you blast freeze them. And once you've blast froze them, you can then stick them into a plastic bag, zip up the plastic bag and throw them into the freezer. And then every time you want like a dozen of samosas on a wonderful cool afternoon, or when you have guests that quickly pop in.
Or your son who's coming from
Oh, my son
Miscellany.
that's coming in from Imsaleni. Then we will pull out a bag of samosas and we've got it on the go immediately. So if we're ready with that, I've got a pot of oil on the stove and I'm going to get started with these. Are you having a little try?
No, don't worry.
Okay. Oh, let me
fine.
just
I
do that
just-
since you're wasting the pastry. So we'll just roll here, make a little pocket, fill this up. I think you've demonstrated quite a few of this. And I'm going to roll, 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 keep the geometry going. If you've got a little bit like this that's torn, but that's not major, you're not going to discard that strip. And these strips come in packs of 50 and 100. So as I said, it is quite a major undertaking.
Having problems sticking, my dear? I wonder why.
Because I'm not used to doing this menial task. So here we go. Also because somebody that handled the pastry too roughly tore the end.
My mother's not here. Who are you going to blame?
I'm blaming you. All right. And then of course you don't want to have this happen where you got a little spit. So just paste that down. And I'm moving over to the oil with our samosas. I've got oil heated in a heavy base pot. There we go. I'm going to dunk that into the oil. Wow, that looks wonderful. You see the pastry. And hopefully we don't have any of them opening up into the oil.
Yes, well, maybe the person who made the glue did a bad job. You fry it at medium heat for how long?
Until you see the color change.
Okay, so you turn it.
I don't think you want to touch it. But what we will do is we're just going to move it around and you will just peek underneath to see that it's not browning. All right, so there we go. Very beautiful. Nice little sizzle going on there. You do not want to put your samosas into oil that is over hot because then they will brown immediately and your samosa pastry will then become limp and damp. It's a lovely heat, not over browning, but crisping up quite gently. And when it does do that, you know that your samosas are going to stay crisp for a really long time.
And they're very well stuck together.
They are beautifully stuck together. As you can see, nothing is coming apart. So the more you stick it, the better. If the glue is not working, you can staple it. I lie. You're not going to staple your samosas. You're just going to use a really very, very good flour paste. Right.
I'll do the comedy, you do the cooking, okay?
Okay. Yes, and then of course I've prepared a little platter to remove them in. I don't think at the time that they are ready, you want to start dashing around to get a platter to remove them from the oil. And I have got some tissue paper there so that any bit of oil is going to drain out in there. So by
Okay.
the time you eat them, although they've been deep fried, they're going to be lovely and dry. And there we go. We have got them turning into an absolutely beautiful color.
Okay,
So how's that masala tea coming?
I've got it. Yeah, I've got 3.
Yes,
I've got masala chai.
yes.
I've got saffron chai.
Wow.
Yes, I've probably got saffron in it, and ilachi chai.
Ooh, my favorite is ilachi. Although I also like masala and I like saffron. So can you choose?
No, I'm not choosing.
You're not choosing?
No. Then I'll be told that I prefer the other one. So.
Okay, what about this? You make a cup of each, and then I'll have a little sip, and you can
I'll
have the
choose
balance.
one.
Okay, we're ready to remove these.
Wow.
There we go.
Lovely.
Golden brown samosas, smelling absolutely delicious. Do you get the smell of that chili?
Yeah, well, actually,
coriander.
I can still smell the chai,
Oh, actually, the chai. Oh,
the tea.
yes. Can I smell that?
Oh, sorry,
beautiful.
wrong fingers.
That smells wonderful.
You're very careful with it. It's just
I
get
am
the
being
oil.
very careful. I'm draining out the oil very nicely. I'm not too concerned, but I've got a big wad of tissues there.
And also, you're not wearing an apron today.
And I'm not wearing an apron,
wonder what
Mrs.
happened.
Naidu.
Right.
Right, so I'm going to just stick this into the warmer drawer. I know I'm actually good.
Yeah, I put this off.
And I'm gonna fry the others when we're ready to eat them.
Great. Right. So that's our samosas, our starters done for today.